In a land where the sun bathed the earth with a golden hue and the air was filled with the sweet aroma of blooming flowers, there lived a rich and benevolent king named Adeolu. His kingdom was known for its prosperity and harmony, flourished under the wise and compassionate rule. King Adeolu was revered by his people for his fairness and his open heart. But behind the facade of grandeur and strength lay a heart burdened with sorrow. He had lost his beloved wife, the queen, to the cold hands of death, leaving him with their only son, Prince Deji. Prince Deji was the pride and joy of King Adeolu, tall and handsome, with a heart as kind as his father's. He was the epitome of the perfect heir. However, King Adeolu's advancing age brought with it a gnawing fear. He wanted to see his son settle with a family before his own time came. This desire intensified with each passing day, and the king made a resolute decision. "Deji, my son," King Adeolu said one evening, as they sat in the grand hall of their palace, its walls adorned with tapestries depicting the history and legends of their land. "It is time for you to marry and secure the future of our lineage. I have chosen a bride for you." Prince Deji's heart sank. "Father, I understand your concerns, but marriage is a bond of love, not convenience. I wish to choose my own bride, someone I truly love." The king's eyes, though filled with love, were firm. "This is not just about love, Deji. It is about our people, our traditions, and the stability of our kingdom. The bride I have chosen is from our clan, and she understands our culture and values." Deji's voice rose, echoing off the ornate walls. "What about my happiness? Should I sacrifice it for duty?" Seeing the determination in his father's eyes and knowing further arguments would be futile, Deji decided to seek solace elsewhere. That night, he packed a few belongings and left the palace, his heart heavy with conflicting emotions. He rode his horse for days, passing through lush forests, bustling villages, and serene rivers, until he reached a distant land. In this new land, Deji found tranquility. He wandered through markets filled with vibrant colors and the laughter of children, through fields where farmers toiled and sang songs of old. One day, as he sat by a tranquil stream, he heard a voice so pure and melodic, it seemed to come from the heavens themselves. He followed the sound and came upon a beautiful young woman. She had long flowing hair that shimmered in the sunlight and a voice that could enchant even the birds. "Hello," Deji said softly, not wanting to startle her. "Your singing is beautiful." The young woman turned, her eyes wide with surprise. "Thank you. My name is Abimbola. And who might you be?" "I am Deji," he replied, choosing to leave out his royal status. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Abimbola." They spent the afternoon talking by the stream, sharing stories and laughter. Deji learned that Abimbola was an orphan, living a humble life but finding joy in the simplest of things. Her spirit and strength captivated him, and over time their acquaintance blossomed into a deep and passionate love. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange and pink, Deji took Abimbola's hands in his. "Abimbola, you have brought so much joy into my life. I cannot imagine my future without you. Will you marry me?" Abimbola's eyes sparkled with tears of happiness. "Yes, Deji, I will marry you." For a few blissful months they lived as if in a dream, but the dream was soon shattered by a letter that reached Deji. It bore the royal seal and the grim news that his father, King Adeolu, was gravely ill. Deji's heart ached as he read the words, knowing he had to return to his father's side. "Abimbola, I must go back," Deji said, his voice filled with sorrow. "My father is very ill and I need to be there for him, but I promise I will return to you." Abimbola nodded, her eyes filled with understanding and pain. "Go, Deji, your father needs you. I will wait for you." Deji rode back to the kingdom, his heart torn between his duty to his father and his love for Abimbola. Upon his return, he found King Adeolu bedridden, his once strong body now frail. For 8 long months, Deji took over the affairs of the palace, ensuring the kingdom remained stable while caring for his father. In the distant land, Abimbola discovered she was pregnant with Deji's child. Her joy knew no bounds, and she eagerly awaited his return to share the wonderful news. But as the months passed, her joy turned to worry. Deji had not returned, and her resources were dwindling. She struggled to care for herself, and as her pregnancy advanced, her health deteriorated. 6 months into her pregnancy, Abimbola fell seriously ill. She could hardly eat, and her once vibrant spirit was dimmed by the weight of her worries and sickness. She gave birth to a baby girl, but was too weak to survive the ordeal. With her last breath, she handed her daughter to the neighbor, hoping the child would one day bring Deji the same joy she had brought to her. Back in the kingdom, King Adeolu passed away peacefully, leaving a devastated Deji to take up the mantle of king. After the burial and the coronation, Deji's thoughts returned to Abimbola. He longed to bring her to the palace, to make her his queen. With hope and excitement, he set out to find her. When Deji arrived at the small house where Abimbola had lived, he was greeted by a somber gathering of neighbors. The air was heavy with sorrow. One of the women stepped forward, a baby in her arms. "Are you Deji?" she asked softly. "Yes," Deji replied, his heart pounding. "Where is Abimbola?" The woman's eyes filled with tears. "I am sorry, Deji. Abimbola fell ill and died shortly after giving birth to your daughter. This is your child. This is your baby." Deji felt as if the ground had been pulled from beneath him. He took the baby in his arms, his vision blurred by tears. He had lost the love of his life, but in his arms was a part of her, a new life to cherish and protect. "Thank you," Deji whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "I will honor Abimbola's memory by raising our daughter with all the love and care she deserves." As he rode back to the palace with his baby in arms, Deji vowed to be the best father he could be. The journey had changed him, teaching him the true meaning of love, sacrifice, and responsibility. Though his heart was heavy with grief, it also held a new purpose, one that would guide him as he led his kingdom and raised his daughter.